as a parent, if you do have a special needs child, just remember and know that you're not alone. There are a lot of us out there in the world, and we need to make connections. And connections is what is going to get us to continue to be able to do things. So you're not alone. Just remember that.
This episode is brought to you by the Arts Council for Monterey County. What makes life feel real? It's expressing yourself, finding your people, and using art to heal, grow, and be heard. The Arts Council for Monterey County, Arts for MC, believes the arts benefit everyone. They bring art into schools, community centers, and public spaces, and support students with scholarships, workshops, and programs like Poetry Out Loud and Youth Poet Laureate. Whether you're an artist or just looking to be inspired, your journey starts here. Learn more at arts4mc.org. That's arts, the number 4, mc.org. And remember, they're also proud sponsors of this podcast. So thank you to the Arts Council for Monterey County.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Offline Xpression. My name is Jeff Hinderscheid, and I am your host, and I am here with my amazing youth ambassador and co-host, Victoria Jones. Victoria, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone.
We're back. As always, we are joined by an incredible person, a wonderful guest. Michelle, I'm going to let you introduce yourself because even though we just talked about it, I don't trust myself. Actually, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would like you to welcome Michelle Choairy. Did I do it?
You got it! Yes!
Yeah.
You got it!
Excellent. Okay, well now say hello to the people, Michelle.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here with all of you.
I'm so grateful for your time with us today. And man, for a guy with the last name Hinderscheid, I totally get it, and I've heard it all. So that's why I'm just really careful, I don't want to, mess it up.
Well, yours is probably, I don't know, because it's longer than mine. So it takes longer to probably have to spell it out. Mine, you have no idea the different names and things that people will, if I just say Choairy, you have no idea what comes up.
Yeah, and and the spelling, right? Versus the way it sounds. So like everyone trips up at the end because of my German spelling, the SCH, right? I hear shield a lot. Like people just look at that and for some reason they see shield. And that's okay. It could be worse, right? But they very rarely even get that far. They trip up at the beginning because they're afraid of the end or whatever. But by the time I explain it, it's right there. But your spelling, I love that it sounds so cool, and I never would have done it right, no matter how hard I tried.
Okay, so let me explain a little bit. That is actually a Lebanese name. My grandpa was from Lebanon, and he fled Lebanon during the Second World War and moved to Brazil. So, and then he met my grandma, and so that's been our name. And I named my kids, that's their middle name. So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, excellent. It's part of who we are, right? It's our identity.
Correct.
That's right. Well,
family name.
Yeah, there you go. Got to keep the family name. You got to keep it's a legacy. So I love it. Victoria is here with us as well. Victoria, how are you today?
Yes, good. I have a very simple last name, so I don't relate to your guys' struggles. But I'm doing pretty good.
The simple last name. Jones, how do you spell that?
I would love to see someone try and mess that up. Joannes.
Oh man, you better be careful. Someone's gonna hear this and start saying that.
Yep. You just wait.
Yeah, it flows right off, right? Whoosh. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future there's somebody else in your life and the last name changes and then you've You've doomed yourself. Well, welcome to the show, Michelle. We're so glad to have you. So the way I want to start is I want to have you go ahead and tell us and our listeners everything about you, like what you do, why you do it, how you do it. Tell us the scoop. Give us our summary. We want to know who you are.
Okay, do we have 2 hours? I'm just joking. I'm joking. So, like I said, it's Michelle Choairy. I am originally from Brazil, like I mentioned this a little bit ago. I came out to the United States 31 years ago. It's crazy how fast time goes.
Yep.
And this is my home. I'm married. I have 2 kids, and I have been in the medical sales business for almost 20 years. And I work for a large orthopedic company, and I'm usually in the operating room most of the days. And I love what I do. I love bossing surgeons around, and that's kind of how I feel like I'm doing. So that's what I do on my day job. But I have 2 kids, and my firstborn, his name is Drake. He's 11 years old, and he has some special needs. He actually has been diagnosed with a very rare genetic disorder. He is one out of about 200 kids in the world with this disorder. And he is the only one with the variant that he has. There's nobody else.
On the
He
planet.
is on the planet.
Wow.
That has been found to this day. We feel like it's underdiagnosed because it, you have to do like a full sequence of genetic testing to find these rare disorders. And so a lot of people who got tested before 2021, TBR1 wasn't even on the scope of testing. So we feel like there's going to be more and more kids with this diagnosis, but it's still very, very, very small sample size in the world.
Wow. So wait, you said TBR1. So what is the name of it?
That's the name. It's
Oh.
TBR1. A lot of these new genetic disorders, they don't name them. They name them by what the sequence is and where the DNA lies. And that's what I don't think that they try to name a name anymore. There's so many of them out there.
Right.
But anyway, all of this to say, of course, we've had our issues with our child. And so when he was about 18 months old, I started advocating for him because we had all these different kinds of things. And, speech therapy, we started all of that early intervention with my son. And it was through him that I decided to become an advocate. And just in the last couple of years, I thought, I really need to pay it forward. Like I had so many people that helped me with him, and now I need to pay it forward. So what I'm doing now is I help parents advocate for their kids. So I teach them how to become an advocate themselves, basically, is what I'm doing. And I do have to say that, and last but not least, I have a wonderful husband, John. He's from Las Vegas, and a wonderful 8-year-old going on 16. And she is a little spunky girl, and her name is Rio because I'm from Brazil. So
Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you have a wonderful little family, and you're all in that together, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes, we are.
So going back for the layman like myself here,
Mhm.
what can you tell us about this diagnosis? What does this look like? What does it affect? And how early did you know? Was it immediate, or is it full everything? Is it neuro? Tell me.
So TBR1 is a spectrum. You have, the lesser like the mild, and then you have the severe side. And I think that that's how it is in all genetic disorders. But TBR1, the major things that when you start wondering, it shows in developmental delays, intellectual disabilities, speech disorders, dyspraxia, that means motor planning issues. There are some that have seizures. Some kiddos suffer from that. And then there's also the side of, and some of them cannot walk because of the dyspraxia, the motor planning, and they're just, wheelchair bound. My son is more on the mild side, and it seems like on the spectrum, when you are on the mild side physically, your behavior is really bad.
Interesting.
And so I got the behavior side of this.
Okay.
And then on the other spectrum, they're super sweet, but then they have more, physical issues. So, but we did not find this diagnosis. We did not get the diagnosis until he was 8 years old.
Oh my God.
He's now 11. Yeah.
Was it misdiagnosed with what was being seen, or was it just not being taken seriously?
Well, a couple of things there. One is like, for you to be able to get approval for genetic testing, your insurance makes you go through hoops.
Oh yeah.
So we had to do like all different things to be able to lead to the genetic disorder. So we had to do like a 24-hour EEG. We had to do sleep study. It was all of these things. And then they only want to pay for the top two or whatever, that like genetic testing, just because it's yes or no. And there's only like, I think they check for Fragile X and some other things, but the majority of them are really, you have to get the full genome sequencing testing. Right. So for many years, I kept getting people were like, I cannot picture him in the autism diagnosis because he's so social. He has all of these things that doesn't fit here. But then you have all these other things. And for 8 years, we had no clue what was causing it. We just knew that there were the issues, and we were treating like the issues. And did that change once we found the diagnosis? Nothing changed. We continue to do the same interventions that we did before he was 8. But now I will tell you that once I found that out, as a mom, I felt like, okay, it wasn't all the Taco Bell and the Dr. Pepper that I ate while I was pregnant with him. That did not cause all the issues that we've been seeing and struggling with. So, like, for the moms out there, if you're scared of getting these genetic testings, like, don't be scared, because it actually, you'll know what it is. Right. So, yeah.
Wow. Sounds like that was and in the meantime, you're dealing with insurance, you're trying to get all these things taken care of, but in the meantime, you're also caring for this child, your child, daily, and seeing it in real time all the time. And it's not like you had a million hours where you could just write down every single thing, like you're doing some observational study and you could perfectly hand it over. So that's a lot of stress.
Yeah. It's been like, I've been lucky that I have had help with him. And, with my husband, like he's actually great with him. He expects him to be a little boy, like a boy. And I'm the one that usually, I want to do everything for him. And my husband's like, no, he can do this himself. And so it's a good balance with the two of us. But I honestly, like, I wouldn't trade it for the world, because his little heart is the biggest heart that you will ever know in your life. And when he's happy, he's the happiest kid, and he feels you. Like he can, what you are feeling, he can feel it. And so there's these parts to him that, like I wouldn't trade for the world for anything. And so we have had to learn how to, you know, deal with behaviors, deal with breaking things. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've had to fix the iPad screen
Oh my God.
because it's been broken. Oh, so many times. But it's how it is, and we love him, and whenever you have a special needs child, this is the life. You learn how to. It's a different life, but you learn how to do it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you say the behavior, and I think earlier you mentioned personable or uh, engaging with other people, social, I think you said.
Mhm.
What is what makes this diagnosis so rare? What is the unique? What is the 200 people versus the only one with this variant? What is the differences there between that and other genetic disorders?
So there are a lot of genetic disorders that are coming out now. Like they're just finding all these different things, right?
Mm.
They just GFOC. There's so many of them right now, and they are all some way and somehow linked to neurodevelopmental disorders. So the kiddos, like if you have a kiddo that has autism, for example, I would say go get a genetic test. You know why? Because it's showing more and more that there is a genetic disorder when it comes to autism. If you have a child who has experienced issues growing up, or speech therapy, speech problems, everything, like I am a true believer in figuring out what it is. And do they differ? Of course they do. So, on this, like with TBR1, there are the kids who are having seizures that they cannot walk. There are kids who can, and there are kids who have the behaviors that are a little bit harder to deal with. And so there's this spectrum. And I think that a lot of the genetic disorders are the same way. I think that there is a spectrum in there, especially these newer ones that just keep popping up. And I think that they keep popping up because there is more and more awareness when it comes to neurodevelopmental disorders.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the good things about the advancements of technology that has happened, right, is that we're getting some more explanations on some more things so that they can be treated a little bit more accurately. So it's not just in some giant pool, right? Just some
Hmm.
big bucket of, well, it's one of these 200 things, right? It's no, we have some
Hmm.
specifics now. So, wow.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to you for being an awesome mom that went and said, I'm going to find out what's going on and didn't give up and worked until you got some answers and then giving back to others. So, there's nothing more humbling than knowing firsthand how difficult it is to
Hmm.
to get what you need, especially
Hmm.
from the world of insurance and all the pharmaceuticals and all the stuff that goes with that side. But
Hmm.
having a medical background yourself and working in that field and knowing, kind of some things about that, um, what are some things that you notice that Uh, for sure, parents do not know how to do this because I had to learn it based on my 20 plus years of in my career. There's no way a layman out there with a child that's going through what I'm going through would possibly able to get to here because they don't have those tools that I'm fortunate enough to have. Is there a lot of that?
So I look at the special needs population in the country, and I have to say that it is sad. It is sad. And the reason for that is that they the most of the parents just go along with whatever. They just get pushed around, right? So they go in to a pediatrician and they go, "Oh, it's okay. They're going to outgrow it. Don't worry about it." Or, they go somewhere and they go through the school system, and a lot of them don't even know that they have some kind of a disability. So they don't know that they can get tested. They don't know that they can ask for special education. And the ones that are in special education, the parent don't know how to push to get the best for their kid, for their child. And I have to say that the advocating for kids is probably one of the hardest things that you're going to ever do, because and it is the most important thing that you will ever do also. So, with my experience, that of course, I'm in medical sales, so I'm very assertive. I'm going to get things done. This is just, that's my life. Like, I'm in sales, I get it done. I hit quota, I do these things. And so with that personality, I use what I learned in that and I put it into my child's advocacy. So being in the medical sales, in the medical business for the past, I don't know, 30 years, 20 years, I know how to deal with the insurance companies. So I started dealing with that. And then that gives me a little bit of a step up from everybody else, because who understands insurance companies? Like, nobody. And so, and who understands special education? Nobody, right? And they really do get pushed around. It's crazy. It's crazy how things are.
What's up, all you expressionists out there? Do you need reliable IT support and more for your business? SPJR Computer Consulting delivers comprehensive solutions tailored to small and medium-sized businesses. From seamless technical support to professional website design and effective online advertising, we keep your budget in mind. Don't miss out. Visit spjrsolutions.com today. That's spjrsolutions.com. Your business deserves the best.
Yeah, and especially, you combine those two things, special education system and, insurance and pharmacy and all that kind of stuff. And it's a perfect storm for, talk about heightened stress, right? Like, we're in a world where everything is go, 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 now.
Mm-hmm.
And you now add on top of that a huge myriad of other stressors that are constant. That's not stopping. You're going to keep dealing with that for his entire life, right? And so there's a sense of buckle up for the long haul that parents are into most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
I do find that parents are like, we got to do what we got to do. So that's helpful. But when you don't know where to start, man, that is a horrifying reality to live in. It's really hard.
Mm-hmm. That's the whole issue, right? Like, and you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And that's the issue. So, it's been, it's been a roller coaster, really. It is a roller coaster when you get a diagnosis, when you get things and you get this, so it's hard. It's really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I have a question. So does your daughter have any special needs? What is it like balancing a son with special needs and a daughter without? Like, what's the balance? Like, what's the difference between parenting them, like how you treat them, how you talk to them, like just
Mm-hmm. Well, it's hard. I'll tell you that. It's very hard. But the great thing about it is that she understands. But we really had to go through a lot. We had to go through, like, with a psychologist to kind of help us. Okay, how do you explain this to a 4-year-old? How do you explain this to, as she's getting older? And really, what we did is we had to say, hey, everybody's brains are different, and Drake's brain is this way, and your brain's going to be, your brain is this way. And there's actually a great book out there that is, they compare it to socks. And every sock is a different, brain and a different person, and they all have different personalities and different colors. And so we used a lot of that to explain to her. It is hard. It's hard for her. And we really I try as a mom to spend a lot of time with her, giving her all of the love and all of my time, a lot of my time with her, because my son is always such a focus in that. And
Good
she
question.
needs to feel loved also.
Yeah, that was a good question, Victoria, because, you're right. It's, you when you think of a family, you think like, well, somewhere along the line, they had to be told and off you go. But you were talking about the iPad screen earlier, and if there's behavior issues that come with the diagnosis and a small child doesn't understand, that some of those things are going to be happening because they're normal for that child, then they can have their own outbursts or anger or whatever frustrations with it, I guess you could say, that could stem into other things. So what is the age difference between the two of them?
2.5 years.
Okay, so he's 10-ish now. Okay.
He's 11 and she is 8. So, but it's like halfway there.
Okay. So we work, our mission is all about, navigating the craziness of social media and the internet and the world of digital technology and all this kind of stuff, right? You work heavily in mentoring parents and navigating special needs. Well, a lot of special needs children require so much extra from the parents that oftentimes when there is any downtime for a parent, they need it. They got to rest. They got to take advantage of any time they can to just decompress. You're working all the time, parenting all the time. So oftentimes what we see or what we hear of is, even with people without special needs, technology can easily, screens and stuff can easily be a major part of a child's life because parents need that relief. How do you balance the ability to rest as an adult and as a parent with the fact that when you actually have that chance, you might need to be spending some sort of quality time when it's not just caregiving time? Like, how does technology come into play for a special needs child, and how do you manage that?
Okay. So that's such a great conversation. And really, I could talk about this for like an hour because there is so much to unpack here. One is technology and the kids. I have noticed that when my son watches YouTube, he becomes even more aggressive and the behaviors happen a lot more. And so I have a friend who wrote a book about this and how she truly believes that kids should not have access to screen unless it's for school. And she's on a mission to do this. She's a psychologist and she's on a mission and she's out there doing this. Now, it's hard. I mean, it is so hard to not allow your kids to do that.
Yeah.
So, but when we did take away from my son, it made a huge difference in his behavior. I feel like kids who are younger, he doesn't even sit there and watch one thing. It's constantly moving.
Yep.
And the head, their little brains, they just can't handle that. And so, and then you end up watching whatever's being put in front of you, right? And so he ends up watching all these destruction things. And so that's how he ends up destroying stuff. Now, what is the balance?
I know. That's why we're on a quest to find that answer. I have a friend, a very dear friend, him and his wife, they have a special needs son, and his sister is younger as well, very similar, right?
Mhm.
And they both have individual iPads. And when I go visit, I mean, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus or anything, and I don't judge people for the decisions. Being a parent is freaking hard. So
Mm.
no judgment. But when I go visit, both of them have their iPads in front of them, headphones connected to individual things all day long. And now I know during the school day they're busy. They're at school and then they do extracurricular things, when they're in sports and things like that. They get them involved. I'm not saying that they're all day long all the time, but when I'm there, it's usually for a weekend and they're entertaining guests. Their friends are there. But I noticed that it's just like you said. It's one video to the next, to the next, to the next, to the game, to the thing. He's got the game going on the TV, and like you see the physical agitation of it. It's so stimulating and overwhelmingly hitting on this dopamine kick, and so it's really hard to find that balance when during that time. Now you can go and pay your bills. Now you can go and wash the dishes and do the laundry because parents that's not stopping because you have a special needs kid. You still have to do that too. So
Yeah.
it sounds like your friend is on this mission as well with the screens, and it's almost impossible. Like learning to find the balance is impossible. We're working towards it. And introduce us.
I was going to say, you should have her on your podcast because she is amazing and she really explains like the biology and how the brain works and why it shouldn't be this way. So I'll introduce you to her. Her name is Nicole Runyon, and she actually has a book that she wrote. What is it called? Oh, Free to Fly. I have it right there. Called Free to Fly.
Well, yeah, you can maybe introduce us or something. That'd be great.
Yeah, for sure. But it's hard finding balance. And I will tell you that when I want a little break, it is the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
But there are other options. So when we took away the iPad, we actually said, if you want to watch Disney Plus and you want to watch a full movie, I will put it on the TV for you.
Great compromise.
Right? Like you're still watching something, but you're not constantly swiping, and it might be a feel-good movie, right? Yeah. Cinderella and
totally,
Beauty and the Beast.
It's emotionally stimulating in a different way.
Yeah, he was watching WALL-E the other day, and the Wild Robot. Like there's those things that like he can watch, and is that gonna make you crazy and want to go and break stuff? No, but will YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and you're just of course you're gonna have to let that energy go somewhere, and it's probably gonna end up being on the screen, the iPad screen. I don't know. Right?
Well, I know that you have to run, but the reason I wanted to ask you that because, you're already facing so many things, and as an advocate, and obviously as somebody who does lots of keynote speaking engagements, and you're working as a mentor to other parents, I imagine that topic comes up a lot, and we don't always have all the answers, right? In a perfect world, we'd know exactly what to do, but anytime we're trying to help others and find balance ourselves, I think asking those questions is always those are the hardest ones. I don't know the answer.
Most definitely. So I hope that we can talk some more.
Yeah.
And maybe we can put some of the stuff together. But I want to let you know, so for your listener that are listening, as a parent, if you do have a special needs child, just remember and know that you're not alone. There are a lot of us out there in the world, and we need to make connections. And connections is what is going to get us to continue to be able to do things. So you're not alone. Just remember that.
Thank you.
And if you are okay with this, if there is somebody with an IEP, I would love to review the IEP for them. So this is free. I won't charge anything, and just bring it on. and I will review the IEP and try to give you a couple bullet points on what I think that you could do and what could be better on the IEP. So any of the parents, and if you know anybody out there, IEPs are one of the hardest things to know and how to deal with, because there's so much language there that you have no idea. And that's why parents get pushed around in the school district.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, which is teaching parents to be advocates. So,
yeah. And it leads into other broken systems. I was a social worker, so I'd have to go to different meetings for my clients, and IEP meetings were a part of that. And I mean, if you don't know what they're talking about, you have to educate yourself real fast. And even then, sometimes it's like referral, and then everybody thinks that they checked that box, and then we just going to sit around and wait for the next person to do the job. And it's like, who's actually taking accountability here, while the parent, like you said, is being run around all over the place waiting for that person to answer and everything else. So thank you for that offer. That is very kind, because I know that is not an easy job, and I definitely do know some people that could probably use that. So
that would be awesome. Send them over, and I'll be happy to do it. I sit down with people and just a little tips and tricks. Sometimes, like, send us email and just say this. It will change something, like, and once the school sees that a little bit more, they are willing to give you more, to give your child more. And so that's why learning the language, being able to, like, have that little bit, like a little push, it makes a huge difference when it comes to the school district. So
thank you for that. That's a good piece of advice too. And the more you know, right? The more you know. Knowledge is power. So, well, Michelle, thank you so much for your time. I know that we're going to try to get us back together again soon so we can follow up on this conversation. But in the meantime, thank you for the work you're doing out there. It's so important. And much love to your whole family. And I'm sure that they are very blessed and grateful to have you as part of the team that is leading them through all the challenges that you guys face. And much love to all of you.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Victoria. And I hope that we connect soon again.
Us too. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.